I give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, which in Hebrew are the wonderful names of the Creator, our Heavenly Father, I Am, which this world has named God, and His beloved anointed Son, which this world has named Jesus. I give honor, respect, and thanks to all the true, faithful, and sincere apostles, elders, prophets, and torchbearers of the nation of Israel, who have willingly endured and risked much to bring forth the truth. Thank you, brothers. In this chapter, we are continuing the conversation of decision. Each and every one of us of the nation of Israel, the mighty nation of Israel today being the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latins, Hispanics, the so-called Native Americans. We are the nation wherever we are on the four corners of this earth, and those who are turned unto the Father through the Son in truth and in sincerity, seeking our Father in earnest desire to fulfill His will. We are the city wherever we are today. And we all have decisions to make. The first scripture we're going to in this chapter is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7, and Yahweh the Most High Power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. 8, and Yahweh the Most High Power planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And he gave him ownership. He gave him ownership. And in order to retain and maintain that ownership. 15, and Yahweh the Most High Power took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep the creation of the one true living Most High Power. 16, and Yahweh the Most High Power commanded the man, told him precisely what to do to dress it and keep it. And Yahweh the Most High Power commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Here's what you can do. Everything in here you can freely participate and partake of and enjoy. 17, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. Here is the contract, here is the agreement, here is the understanding. This is our father unto Adam, I'm going to keep my end, I'm going to own my end of this agreement, this contract. And all I need for you to do is own your end of it. You have a lot of freedom. And here is something I said do not do. So, in the book, in chapter 84, it talks about how Adam, the spirit of Adam, was Yahushai. So Yahushai has been here, the spirit of Yahushai has been here time and time again, being refined. So you can go to chapter 84 to understand that. But Adam made a poor decision. Genesis 3, chapter 24. So he, Yahweh the Most High Power, the creator of heaven and earth, the creator of all things, the creator and destroyer, so he drove out the man And he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. And what is that way? Obey the commandments of the one true living Most High Power. This is his earth. The Garden of Eden is his. He has made it to be inhabited, but it is his. So we were removed from the garden. For when Adam fell into sin, we all fell into sin. Removed from the garden. And our Father in heaven had every single right to do so. He had every single right to do so. Adam was made a steward of the earth, given great power and dominion, but he was a steward of that which belonged unto the one true living Most High Power. But, as our Father always does, he lays it out clearly. Here is the agreement. Here is the covenant, the contract. Here it is. Agree to it or don't agree to it. But if you agree to it, own it. Own it. And his mercy's so generous to us that when we stray a little bit off the path, the book of the prophet Amos, chapter 3, verse 7, surely Yahweh the Most High Power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So how that unlocks itself today is, it begins with the men years and years and years ago who unlocked Deuteronomy 28, who unlocked the blessings and the curses and who they pertained unto. The men who were given sight and hearing to be able to unlock who Esau is upon the earth today and has been, right? Unto the prophets. The men who could unlock the prophecies that would signal the end of this last wicked kingdom. The men who come out here today and speak in truth and in sincerity about the prophecies written in this book. And then here at the end, from time to time, we still get a word from our Father. And courageously and boldly speak it in faith. And watch it manifest. Because we're clear, we're not speaking our words. We're speaking, thus saith the Most High, as it is written. Verse 8, the lion hath roared, who will not fear? So that lion is our Father, Yahweh the Most High Power, through his Son, Yahushai, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Savior, our Master Prophet, our High Priest, and our brother of the bloodline and the seed line. And you hear the Father through the Son, and today you hear the Father through the Son, through the servants of the one true living Most High Power. The lion hath roared, who will not fear? Yahweh the Most High Power hath spoken, who can but prophecy? So what is written in this book, and through the blessing and the anointing of the Father, there are men who can discern these mysteries and distill them to our brothers and sisters of the nation of Israel. So the men who have gone before us, we stand on their shoulders today, and we give honor unto those men. But we have to speak what we've been taught. We have to speak the truth, and we have to speak what has been given us to speak. But the love of the Father is that he's going to do nothing unless he warns you and he tells you up front, just like he did unto Adam, which was the spirit of Yahushua. The spirit of Yahushua was dwelling in Adam. So, what many have a problem with today are the prophecies. But again, it's not our words. The men, the prophets, the modern day prophets, the brothers, the men who are out on the street at camp, the men who are giving classes, and the men who are online speaking this word in truth and in sincerity, we speak on behalf of the one true living most high power. And if you're an Israelite, you need to take ownership of that. That we serve the one true living most high power and things go according to his will. Let's jump up here. The book of the prophet Amos, chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall the prophecy of the one true living most high power, whether it's for the destruction of the nation of Israel, as it has been, or whether it's for the destruction of mystery, Babylon the Great, the so-called United States of America, shall that warning go out and people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh hath not done it? You need to own who you serve. You need to take full ownership. If you are in any way in opposition to the one true living most high power and his prophecies, you need to take ownership of that. Because the Father has spoken righteous judgment upon all nations upon the earth. Remember, Israel wasn't supposed to drink the cup of wrath. And because we strayed so far, we got righteous judgment poured out upon us. And we need to today be in ownership of that fact. And yet our Father's love is still so powerful. The book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. You want to stay stuck on St. John 3:16? Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Southern kingdom, northern kingdom, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. The so-called Negroes, the so-called Latins, Hispanics, and the so-called Native Americans. There are other nations upon this earth. There are other families upon this earth. Our Father has chosen the nation of Israel. And when we get it right and we are put back into our proper position, the Father, through the Son, will work through the nation of Israel and deal with all the other nations upon the earth. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. So, as the Spirit brought out, so as our forefather, the prophet Noah, and what was in the ark with him, went into the new world, so will Yahushua, the holy angels, and the 1/3 of the mighty nation of Israel, the hopeful elect, directly into the new kingdom. And many of the other nations will not see the light of day anymore. Watch your step, Israel. You do not want to join the wicked in their destruction. Drowning is one thing. What is being spoken about in this last judgment is fire. 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 Hot, hot fire. Now, if we understand that what we were told were meteor craters from meteors hitting the earth, if we were told that that's what they were, when in fact they are fountains that go deep down into the earth and bring water forth, if these were a part of the destruction of the wickedness of man in the first death, what do you think these things will be doing upon the earth when the Father says, it is time? Volcanic activity is the most powerful force in nature. Some volcanic eruptions are much more powerful than the largest nuclear explosion. So if what the Father did in the first death by water is done again in the second death of fire, that means these volcanoes are going to erupt all throughout the earth, such that there's no place to hide, not a single place to hide. There will be nowhere to hide. And he will have thermonuclear warheads raining down from the heavens. So, where are you going to go and who are you going to call? Remember, if you're an Israelite, the only way out is up. And that's the truth. The only way out is up. There are many of you upon the earth today who think you understand terror, who think you understand fear. Now again, in the spirit, for the nation of Israel, this is an exhortation. This is not to scare you, but to prepare you. What the Father says shall occur, shall occur. Watch your step. None of us are perfect, but watch your step. There is going to be a horrendous terror upon this earth when the Father says, now. When he says, now. All the fountains of the deep broke up with water. Imagine all the earthquakes. Imagine all the volcanoes breaking up, spewing forth their fire upon the earth, while thermonuclear warheads rain down. It's going to be a pitiful sight, and there's going to be a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth. The book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Death, they are the devil, which are the rulers of this last wicked kingdom. They are the deceivers. They are the devil. They are death. Hell is everyone who follows behind death, which is the devil, which are the deceivers, which are the rulers of this last wicked kingdom. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. That first death happened by water. This second death of fire is surely on its way. 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Whoa, guys, look at that chart, how massive this is. Buildings have collapsed, trains have stopped, people ran out of their homes in panic. It's starting again at Campi Flegrei, 4.4. This is super high, and boy, I have a feeling these high ones, they're coming at lesser time frames, so compared to when the last one was hitting. And it comes with a massive earthquake swarm again. That's what's so concerning. Officials are warning you, if you live on a supervolcano like Campi Flegrei, you have to have dutiful fear. Guys, in this video, I'll explain to you what that is. Unsettling statements from officials in Italy today in press conferences. No one should be surprised. We are on one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world. Boof, Minister of Civil Defense Musumeci just said that, but that's not all. Ground deformations near Peschiarelli, we need to talk about that. Major changes in the Peschiarelli area. And now this massive 3-day lasting earthquake swarm with the second highest earthquake ever recorded there, 4.4 and 3.5 and 2.7, 3.1. It's been rumbling like crazy. But scientists are especially concerned right now at the moment about the changes in the Peschiarelli thermal area that's just outside the northeastern base of the Solfatara crater. This massive sand dune-like thing that we're always seeing in aerial pictures. So there is ground deformation, fluid accumulation, and an increase in temperature of the gases that are escaping from the fumaroles that are in this area, and that raises great concern amongst the scientists.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 8, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Espérame, échale. A ver, un experto que nos explique aquí por qué está sucediendo esto.
¿Es una boca de volcán o qué? ¿Se va?
A ver, échale agua. Pero es que ve, esto no es normal.
¿Qué pasó ahí?
Está sucediendo aquí en Tepic Nayarit, señores.
Está quemando la tierra.
El cerro del Ceboruco 2.
La actividad geotérmica en San Marcos 2 de febrero de 2025.
Sí, lo que sí está raro que haya salido aquí, exactamente.
No, y luego aquí ya que está bien levantado el empedrado y...
No, estamos en alto, que diga hasta abajo.
Sí. Aquí andamos en una zona donde hay cosas bastante almirosas. Aquí estoy en las aguas termales donde nace la agua, es caliente. Podemos ver el humazón que tira el agua. Aquí si se mete un huevo se cuece en el instante. Es una calor terrible que pega aquí. Podemos ver cómo se levanta el humo. Aquí hiede azufre. Mire qué temeridad. La verdad ando conociendo porque no conocía este lugar. Mire ese árbol, ya lo secó.
The book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 20, and the beast was taken. This is the beast system of governance. All those who serve, it's the man, the beast, and the dragon. The man is a nation, it's a people. Esau, Edom, Idumea, Mount Seir, the so-called white nation. Inside of them is a family called Amalek. That's the man. The beast is their beast system of governance. How they control everything upon the earth. And that even includes the image of Caesar Borgia. That's part of the beast system. This is how they've governed for a long time. A long time. So this beast system of governance. The dragon is how they carry themselves upon the earth. They huff and they puff. Dragons breathe fire. They destroy. They swagger through the earth, their tail just knocking everything down. This is who they are at the heart of it. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Now, remember, lava turns into rock. It turns into stone. The book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 10, and the devil that deceived them, devil means deceivers, those who rule this last wicked kingdom and deceive. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Because the people who you trust, the rulers of this last wicked kingdom who you trust, the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Sirach is also called Ecclesiasticus and can be found in the Apocrypha, which is the middle book of the King James 1611 Bible. Never trust thine enemy, Never trust thine enemy. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. It's little by little by little by little by little. It eats away at things. And if you're not paying attention, it'll be too late. 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. If you are paying attention, you can see. You can see that the atrocities that are occurring upon the earth today are being allowed to happen. For the most part, they're being allowed to happen. Now, there are some nations that are stepping up today. They are. But those who serve death, the devil, those who are hell, they just stand idly by and watch. Now, granted, the dragon is hard to go up against, but there are those, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. You have to pay attention. The book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 9, he layeth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. So what they do is they make you think that they are on your side, that they have your best interest at heart. You think your tax dollars are going for things that are helping you. Not for a second. Not for a second. 10, he croucheth and humbleth himself. This is what they do. Oh, I'm here for you. I'm working for you. I'm on your behalf. We're doing the best we can. No, not at all. That the poor may fall by his strong ones. Well, what are one of their main strong ones today? The media. The media. They trap you in that thing all day long. They trap you in that thing all day long. And you just fall for it. You fall for it. They are actually letting many people upon this earth walk straight into destruction. Letting people walk straight into utter destruction. Right? The Father has given a mission unto his servants to warn. And in so warning, it's a loud trumpet. As we warn Israel, these other nations are listening too. They're like, what are these trumpets for? What's all this for? Right? But the enemy, he croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones, by his media. So what's an example of that? Well, they'll tell you that these are wildfires. So, as the Spirit brought out, what does this fire look like to you? So they're telling us those are forest fires. They arrested a guy really quick, said, oh yeah, there's an arsonist. Look at this guy. Yeah, this guy here. Who runs everything? The deceivers. So let's say maybe these forest fires just happen to look like volcanoes. Maybe they just happen to look like volcanoes. The book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So a word comes to me, speak about volcanoes. Okay, I have to now do that courageously and boldly. I just have to do it. So I start doing it. 19, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Do you see the absolute sheer mercy of our Father? Again, he has men out here to warn you, but men who understand that if they don't do the full, complete assignment, their own life is in jeopardy. Their own life is in jeopardy. So when you want to serve at the highest levels, so much is at stake. So much is at stake. But this is the love of our Father. Men will do whatever it takes to make sure you hear this. They will be out on the street. They'll be in places where it may be an inconvenience to you. They will definitely give classes and be online speaking this word. So our Father has taken full ownership of his nation, of his people, of his sons and daughters, of his children, and of his jewels. He's taken full ownership. Can you take full ownership of being a servant, a son, a daughter, and a power of the Most High Power? Can you take full ownership of that? Because that means that you have to take full ownership of this last captivity we are in. You have to take full ownership of that. This is where we are today. Because we have done something in one of our regenerations to deserve it. We have. So we need to pay our bill. But here's the love of our Father. He's warning. You can hear the voice of our Father through the Son, through the servants upon the earth today. And we are warning you, as it was in the first death, where there was water coming from underneath the earth and above the earth. Fire's coming. It's coming from above the earth, and it's coming from below the earth.
Does appear to be a standalone hostage release of Eden Alexander, the last known living hostage. There is American Jews, so to say Americans in Gaza. Now his family, when they heard this news on Sunday, Mother's Day, did say it is quite the greatest gift imaginable.
No biggie.
So if you haven't heard, there is a mile-wide underwater volcano in the Pacific Ocean that is predicted to erupt within the next few weeks.
A huge underwater volcano is set to erupt any day. Top scientists have issued a chilling warning that the most active volcano in the Pacific Northwest is showing signs of swelling, indicating that magma is building up beneath the surface.
Not only is it going to be erupting soon, but CNN is saying that it will cause at least 10,000 earthquakes along the coast. This is concerning the west coast of California, where the San Andreas Fault is.
So let's just look at some of the details and some of the facts. In short, this volcano does not pose a threat to the continental US. Is this a large volcano? Yes, it is. It's over 10 miles wide. It is a very, very large volcano, but a large volcano doesn't necessarily mean a big eruption. Is it underwater? Yes, but it's over a mile deep, and that's the summit that's over a mile deep. In fact, most of the volcano is under about 2,000 meters of water, and when volcanoes are under that much water, they do not pose a threat because the overlying pressure suppresses their ability to erupt explosively. This volcano has erupted in the past, and it's almost exclusively produced lava flows. It's only when volcanoes are very close to the water surface that they become more of a problem. Has it erupted in the past? Yes, there have been 3 eruptions since 1998, 2011, and in 2015. It's the most well-monitored underwater volcano in the world. It's even got its own underwater observatory. That's for another story. Key thing is, because of all this monitoring, they are able to track the number of earthquakes and how much the volcano is growing or swelling, inflating and deflating, and it is currently on a trajectory to potentially erupt at some point as it is inflating. But it's been inflating since it erupted in 2015, and scientists have been placing bets on essentially when this volcano might erupt yet next for almost 10 years now, where it's gone up and then it's subsided a bit, but there has been an uptick in activity, so potentially there might be an eruption. Will there be earthquakes? Yes, that comes hand in hand with a volcanic eruption, but when magma is forcing its way to the surface, it is cracking the ground around it, and so when that happens, you have dozens, hundreds, thousands of microquakes that track with the magma. So these are magnitude 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. You might get a spattering of some magnitude 5s, but you're not going to get any earthquakes significant enough that might cause something at the water surface, that might cause a tsunami that would come all the way to the coast.
All right, so I wasn't sure I was going to share this because my goal on here is to never strike fear. My goal on here is to bring communities together, start conversations, learn from one another, respect one another. But I feel like it's time that I share this story. Well, it's not a story, it's coming from the source and facts. But one of my very dear friends who I've kind of talked about on here before, who has shared some very important things that I've shared with all of you. He's a scientist. I shouldn't have said he, but yes, he's a scientist. He works with seismic activity. He works with a lot of different things that are in the science industry. I don't have to go in because I don't really want to tell too much about him. But he reached out to me about 2 weeks ago and was like, hey, my team and I have been tracking some seismic activity, and I think you should talk to your TikTok followers about this. So I didn't think I was going to do it because, I don't want to strike fear, and that's not my purpose. But now what I'm about to tell you is showing up on the news, like CNN, and also news reports out of London and Australia and all over the entire world, that in the coming months, there's predicted a mile-wide volcano that is in the Pacific Ocean that is expected to go off in the next coming months. Now, when he reached out to me, they have predicted it's going to be on June 5th. And this volcano that is potentially about to erupt will trigger over 10,000 earthquakes all over the entire globe in one day. Now, I don't know what else to do with this information, but he was very adamant that perhaps I should share this information with the people who follow me. Now, I don't know if you've seen the news reports. I saw the one on CNN, and the crazy thing is it was just a scrolling bar at the bottom, not even a main story. And I don't understand why 10,000 earthquakes happening in one day and a mile-wide volcano going off in the ocean is not a headline story.
അസർബൈജാനിലെ നാച്ചുറൽ ഗ്യാസ് കത്തിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ് ഇത് പൈസ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഈ രീതി.
The second book of the prophet Esdras, chapter 6, verse 18. This is our forefather, the prophet Esdras, and the voice of our father is making its way to him, telling him about the future. And it, the voice of our Father, Yahweh, the Most High Power, the Creator of heaven and earth, the Creator of all things, the Creator and Destroyer. And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh, to draw near, to come near, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. So this is our Father saying he's going to come visit. He's doing that today through the Son, Yahushai. He's doing that today through the Son. I am in the Father, and the Father is in me. This is what Yahushua has said many times. And so how do we know this? We look for the seasons. The book of Psalms, chapter 114, verse 7, Tremble, thou earth, at the presence of Yahweh, at the presence of the Most High Power of Jacob.
Y acá tenemos otra zona que acaba de derrumbarse en este momento. Justo en este momento. La tierra, amigos, se sigue moviendo. A lo mejor un poco imperceptible para el ser humano, pero la tierra sigue moviéndose en este temblor que fue corto de tiempo, pero muy fuerte, muy fuerte. Hay bastantes daños en este lugar que ya les mostraremos en estos videos. Para que vean el video completo, los esperamos en el canal La Vida del Rancho en YouTube. Ahí van a ver el video completo de esto que está sucediendo y aconteciendo en estas zonas de Atenquique, Jalisco, Zapotiltic, Tuxpan. Faldas de aquí de los volcanes. Miren nada más, ahí se ve cómo.
The book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 10, But Yahweh is the true Most High Power. He is the living Most High Power and an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. So here's something to pay attention to. So that earthquake in Myanmar, it started out in the 7s, right? That's where they started it. They started out in the 7s. And now they're saying it was a 7.9. Now they've moved it up a little bit to a 7.9. When a few chapters ago it was clear, by professionals over there in Asia who said it was an 8.2. Right? It was an 8.2. But it's interesting. They're starting to move it up because they can't cover it up anymore. Our Father through the Son is making his power known clearly upon this earth. And so again, the trumpet, the warning that goes out through the servants of the one true living most high power today, these other nations can hear it too. And there are some of the other nations who are wise. There are some. The book of the prophet Daniel, chapter 6, verse 26. This is a king of another nation, another family of people, who through our forefather, the prophet Daniel, understood the sheer might, power, magnificence, and glory of the one true living most high power through his servant Daniel. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the most high power of Daniel, for he is the living most high power and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. So that one understood. That one understood. And our forefather, the prophet Daniel, even in captivity, even in duress, even with his life hanging, at the will of someone else, he took full ownership of who he was and who he served. And that at the heart of it, Israel had done enough unto the one true living most high power that we deserved captivity. Because the Father deals with the whole nation. "27, he delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions." So other nations have witnessed the fact that we're still here, even in the midst of concerted efforts to absolutely destroy us through food, through drink, through drugs, through sex, through music, through witchcraft, wizardry, warlockery, sorcery, poison, through financial hardships, through prison, through breaking up the families, through everything. Somehow we're still here. And we're here in this captivity, the last of our last captivity, for a reason. And we really need to own that. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve the Most High Power and Mammon." Own the captivity and finish it, and then enjoy the rewards, and then enjoy the rewards. The book of St. Mark, chapter 8, verse 34, "And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Well, he went to eternity. He went back to the Father. So he's saying, if you're going to come after me, deny yourself. So what does that mean? This is not our kingdom. These are not our ways. We have to put these things down. We have to turn back unto our Father in truth and in sincerity. And we have to own that we're here in this situation at this time. And take up his cross and follow me. He is the captain of our salvation. He is our leader. The book of St. Luke, chapter 9, verse 23, and he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 10, verse 38, and he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. And why is that? Because Yahushua was present at the beginning. He helped to create everything that the Father has created. The Spirit of Yahushua has been in the vessel of man, time and time again, being refined, so that he could be the greatest judge in truth and in sincerity of his brothers and sisters and of all the other nations upon the earth, because he's been in the flesh so many times. And he's confronted so many things. And so, in order to be first and foremost at the highest level at his table, and then radiating out from that to be a part of the 144,000, and then to radiate out from that to be a part of the 1/3 that he comes and delivers from destruction, you have to be willing to do what he did, because he's the leader, remember? And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. We must endure this captivity. We must endure this shame. We must endure the position at the bottom. We must endure it. Who are we not to? The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 2, looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High Power. He endured the shame. He endured it. Who are we? Who are we that we shouldn't pick up our cross every single day? He was tormented up on that cross. If you're the Son of the Most High Power, bring yourself down. If you are a son or a daughter of the one true living Most High Power, get yourself out of this captivity. Get yourself out of this poverty. Why are your people being killed and nothing's being done about it? Why are you all, why are most of you, financially in hard times? On the streets, selling drugs, killing one another. Deliver yourselves. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High Power. That's how you get set down at the right hand. That's how you do that. That is how you do that. 3, for consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. Around from the very beginning, and yet he had to endure the lowest parts of hell. Hell is a condition. But the deeper you go down into that darkness, the brighter your light becomes. The brighter your light becomes. When you've seen all of it, you can become a profitable king, Lord, and judge, and servant of the one true living Most High Power. Able to judge righteously, in fairness, and with equity. Honorably dispensing of the laws of the one true living Most High Power. The darkness is the fine-tuning. it is the refining. The patience, it is the refining. Because when really confronted, you find your way back home. You find your way back to the beginning. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 26, verse 36. Then cometh Yahushua with them unto a place called Gethsemane. You know what Gethsemane is? It's a garden. He went full circle, bringing ownership for his actions, righting the wrong, righting the injustice unto the one true living Most High Power. Then cometh Yahushua with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, Sit ye here, while I go and pray yonder. 39. And he went a little further, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt, which is what Adam should have done. Full circle. Yahushua takes ownership in this moment. Yahushua takes full ownership in this moment. 42. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. We are drinking of our cup. He was given a cup filled with some mighty, mighty things. We don't have to do that. He's already done that. But we do have to drink our cup. We do. We do. We do. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me except I drink it, thy will be done. Can you take full ownership of your cup and drink that which is given you to drink here in the last of our last captivity? Remember, we, the Israelites, we are responsible for getting to the designated location at the designated time. We, like Yahushua, have got to get back to the garden. Not my will, Father. Thy will be done. You commanded me to do these things, I will do them. You commanded me to not do this thing, I will not do this thing. I will not do this thing. You also need to take full ownership that our Father loves us because he did not utterly destroy us. The last scripture we're going to in this chapter is the second book of Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book, that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. 13. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. 14. For not as with other nations, whom Yahweh patiently forbeareth to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. So our Father, through our history, has put us on time out, time and time and time again. We were in this captivity. We were in that captivity. We were in this captivity. We were in that captivity, being punished in real time for what we had done. But these other nations, they're going to get it all at once, particularly Mystery, Babylon the Great, the so-called United States of America, and their rulers. They're going to get it all at once. So our Father's love is that we don't get it all at once. I mean, this last captivity was brutal, but can you imagine, 1,000 years of captivity? 1,500 years of captivity? That's just like you die and come back, right? Die a couple times and come back. This is the love of our Father. Can you drink your cup? Can you bring full ownership? Can you decide to bring full ownership to bear on this last captivity? And we're at the tail end of it. But Yahushua had to go back and make it right. He had to go back into the garden and he had to make it right. And now we have to go back and make it right. Not my will, Father, thy will be done. 15, lest that being come to the height of sin, afterwards he should take vengeance of us. 16, and therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us, and though he punish with adversity, yet doth he never forsake his people. If you pray unto the Father in truth and in sincerity, and you pray for his will, he will hear you. He will hear you. And his will is for you to eat and to drink. His will is for you to be safe. Now we have our trials and our tribulations, but his will is for you to be safe. His will is that your needs are met. His will is to give you an eternal kingdom. So the more you can pray for his will, the closer we get to that. 17, but let this that we are spoken. 17, but let this that we at spoken be for a warning unto us. But let this that we at spoken be for a warning unto us. The brothers, the men who are out here speaking this word in truth and in sincerity, we come out here and we speak the prophecies. We blow the trumpet. We warn you. We let you know that famine's coming, war's coming, pestilence is coming, the sword is coming, destruction is coming, the teeth of wild beasts are coming, the weather's coming, hurricanes, tornadoes, flood. We're letting you know. These are not our words. It's the words of the one true living most high power, and it's his righteous judgment today through his son, Yahushua, who has been given all authority and power in heaven and in earth, and is bringing righteous judgment upon the earth on behalf of the one true living most high power. Just look around. Look at the wonders upon the earth. Take ownership that all of this is on behalf of the deliverance and the salvation of the 1/3 of the mighty nation of Israel. Today, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latins, Hispanics, the so-called Native Americans, those who in truth and in sincerity are turned unto the one true living most high power through the Son, who are turned unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. All honor, praise, and glory unto the Father and the Son. Thawada Abba. Thank you, Father. Make no mistake about it. World War III and the nuclear destruction of America are coming. It will coincide exactly with the return of our King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Savior, High Priest, and Brother, Yahushai. Thus saith Yahweh. Philippians 2:9-11. Wherefore Yahweh also hath highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahweh Shai every knee shall bow, of things in heaven, and things in earth, and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that Yahweh Shai is Lord, to the glory of Yahweh the Father. As it is written, thus saith Yahweh, and nothing can stop it. This is a final warning, Israel. Shake off this world. Remember who you are and come home. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Look at this! I mean, how is this even possible? I've never seen anything like this before. I can't believe this. There are 2 moons up in the sky, and this just can't be real. Two moons? This is absolutely insane. It's like the universe is putting on a special show just for us tonight.